So last year I actually spent 3 weeks traveling the stunning country of Portugal, and for whatever reason, I've not actually made a video about it until right now. What's going on, guys? My name is Aaron and I am a travel vlogger, and I spent 3 weeks traveling Portugal back in June of 2019, and in today's video I'm going to share with you everything you need to know if you're thinking about traveling Portugal, including all the best places to go. So I personally made the decision to take my time traveling the country. I actually only visited 3 places: the Algarve, Lisbon and Porto, and I know right now there's going to be a lot of annoyed Portuguese people saying there's a lot more to see in the country, and don't worry, I am very aware of that, and I will touch on the best places outside of them 3 to visit at the end of the video. Anyway, enough talking, let's kick things off in the Algarve, and personally my favourite place in Portugal, which is Lagos. So Lagos is actually relatively unknown to many travellers when it comes to the Algarve compared to its neighbouring popular destinations, including Albufeira, Portimao and Vilamora, and I know I'm going to pronounce quite a few things wrong in this video, so just bear with me, I am trying my best on that one. However, if you're looking for a place to relax, enjoy some cheap local food and see some of the most famous and stunning beaches Portugal has to offer, then Lagos is definitely the place to be. If you're like me and you are looking to stay in hostels whilst you're traveling Portugal, and there are plenty of options, I personally wouldn't recommend the hostel I stayed in. It was nice, there was a couple of things that I just really didn't enjoy about it. If you are planning on visiting during the summer months, which I don't recommend, I'll touch on that a bit later, then try to book a couple of weeks in advance because they reach full capacity very quickly, and if they continue with a 50% capacity that most of Europe are doing due to social distancing, then it'll fill up even quicker. If you want a hotel or private room, Airbnb is definitely the way to go, and that goes for all of Portugal, and you can find my recommendations by checking out the blog post linked down below in the description for Lagos, Lisbon and Porto, and you will also be able to claim £35 free Airbnb credit, which is available in all currencies. So I actually personally recommend you spend 3 to 5 days in Lagos because there is a lot to do, and that will give you plenty of time to check it all out. My favourite things to do in Lagos were to explore all of the beaches and incredible rock formations along the coast that are a photographer's dream. I highly recommend that you visit Cafe Odeon for breakfast. Don't ask questions on that one, just go there and you will not be disappointed. Trust me on that one. For an evening meal, I also recommend you go and check out the Bafi Bar. They are incredible, honestly. The staff was so welcoming and the food was amazing, so check that out. It's right in the centre of Lagos, which makes it perfect as well for getting around during the day and then heading there for the night. The longer you actually spend in Lagos, the more opportunities you'll have to visit nearby areas, as there are numerous buses that are available throughout the entire day going to places like the Benguela Caves. Before you leave Lagos though, you have to check out the secret beach. Well, it's not that secret anymore because I've actually made a video on it and other people are starting to discover it, but for now it's still called the secret beach. Guys, check this out. We've literally found our own private beach in Portugal. It's literally not a single soul on here. After you've explored everything that the Algarve and Lagos has to offer, it's time to head up north to the capital of Portugal, which is Lisbon. Buses depart the main bus terminal in Lagos hourly with numerous different companies. However, they all cost pretty much the same, which is 10 to 15 euros, and take 3.5 to 4 hours depending on traffic. Lisbon is one of the most fascinating, colourful, cultural, it's one of the most amazing cities that I've personally visited, particularly in Europe, and I absolutely loved my time there. There was so much to do, and I could have spent a lot longer there, to be honest. Once you've arrived in Lisbon though, there are so many things to do, see and eat. Let's start off with the football stadiums. If you're a football fan like me, then you have to check out both Sporting Lisbon and Benfica stadiums, and the stadium tours are pretty much the same price, so I recommend just doing one of the stadium tours and then going out and checking the other. And for me, I actually really enjoyed just taking a walk around Sporting Lisbon Stadium because of the colours of the stadium. It was quite a sight to see. One of the biggest attractions in Lisbon is the Ponte 25 de Abril, and I know for sure I have not pronounced that anywhere near right. I'd be surprised if even it's slightly right, but it's essentially the big bridge And you're probably wondering why I'm recommending that you go and see a bridge, and the main reason is it's literally the mirror image of the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco, which is why it is so popular with tourists, and you've probably seen photos of it all over Instagram. I also recommend you go and visit the name of this place on screen right now. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that one, but it is essentially a very fancy word for probably the best lookout spot in Lisbon, where you can catch some of the most amazing sunsets over the city. We literally went there every single day just because of the amount of people that was there. There was a really good vibe, and obviously you get to see the nicest sunsets ever. So definitely go and check that place out. There are a couple more famous things that you have to check out before you finish Lisbon. Firstly being the famous Lisbon tram, which is the number 28. The little yellow tram runs literally through the narrowest streets of Lisbon and attracts queues of hundreds of people trying to get on this tram. I literally seen people queuing for up to 4 hours to get on this tram, so I wouldn't recommend trying to get on it, but I'd recommend at least seeing it at some point, and even just walking around Lisbon, you will actually see it at some point. Once you've had a couple of days, even up to a week in Lisbon, seeing everything that has to be offered, there's a lot more than what I mentioned, but they are just the main things that you have to check out if you're just spending a couple of days in Lisbon. Then it's time to head further up north to Porto. Before we carry on with the video and talk about Porto though, I just want to let you know that my Portugal travel guide is now available on my website. Whether you have some unanswered questions or want to know about Portugal in a lot more detail, this guide has you sorted. The guide covers 18 different topics, including visas, vaccines, budgeting, where to visit, when to visit, and much more for just $3.99. And the best part of it, it is optimized for mobile use, so you can use it during your time in Portugal. If you want to find out more information, then just head to the link down below in the description, or it will be on screen right now. It's aaronjarvistravel.com/shop. Right, this might be slightly controversial, but Porto for me wasn't my favorite place. I wouldn't go as far as say I didn't enjoy it, but I definitely found the other places that I visited a lot more, well, enjoyable to be honest. But that's not to say it wasn't enjoyable, I just didn't find as many things to do there. But there are a couple of things I want to mention about Porto. Once again, we'll kick things off with yet another bridge. That seems to be a bit of a theme in Portugal, that they have famous bridges that tourists absolutely love to go and see. The only difference with this bridge is you can actually jump off it into the main river that runs through Porto. That's right, I actually said people jump off the bridge into the river in Porto. I personally didn't do it, but it is definitely a thing that happens. Having said that, please don't turn up and actually think you can just jump off the top of the bridge, as you'll probably die or at least break a couple of bones. People actually jump from the bottom part of the bridge. It's something that they mainly do in summer. A lot of local kids do it, so then tourists start to get involved, and then more tourists start to get involved. If people try and charge you to do it as well, that's not part of the thing. You can actually pay to climb one of the bridges. That's an organised tour. But jumping off it into the river is something that you definitely shouldn't be charged for. You can also pretend you're in a Harry Potter movie by visiting a bookstore, a famous bookstore that is located in the city centre and has a stunning interior design that many people describe as very similar to Harry Potter. I personally went there, but I didn't actually have my camera on me, so enjoy a couple of photos of it instead. Having said that, I actually spent a lot of time just wandering around Porto to try and find things of interest. And whilst I didn't come across a lot, I'm sure there are, don't get me wrong, I actually found one of the best things for me was just exploring the street art and the local places to eat that Porto had to offer, because there was a lot of places to eat that offered some amazing local food, and there's a couple of recommendations on my website right now if you want to go and check them out. I'm going to throw another controversial opinion your way. One of my favourite things to do, not just in Porto, but in the whole of Portugal, was to drink some of the best Portuguese local beer. And for me, I prefer Sagres, whereas I know pretty much 99% of people, I think, prefer Superboc. So let me know about that in the comments below. Am I absolutely insane, or do some people side with me on that? Let me know in the comments. As I mentioned at the start of the video though, there are still places in Portugal that I've yet to visit, and I definitely will at some point, that do come highly recommended to me, including probably the most famous and the place I actually want to visit the most, which is the Azore Islands. So if you do actually get a chance to go there, definitely do it. I believe it's like an extra 2-hour flight from Lisbon or Porto, so definitely do that if you do actually get the opportunity to, because them islands are meant to be absolutely incredible. Sintra is also a place I actually hadn't heard about before traveling Portugal, but whilst we were in Portugal itself and mainly in Lisbon, we just heard of so many travelers saying how amazing Sintra is, and you have to go and check it out, even if it's just for a day trip. So if you do actually get the chance, I would recommend going to see Sintra, as it is literally just outside of Lisbon. And just like that, you have spent 3 to 4 weeks in the amazing country of Portugal. And despite its location in Western Europe, I actually found it a lot cheaper than the countries in that region, like Spain and France, and it actually even compared to some of the countries in Eastern Europe, particularly if you were eating in local restaurants. I actually found the prices to be very affordable, which is one of the main attractions for backpackers to actually visit Portugal, and the favourable weather conditions in the shoulder months, which are the months outside of the main season. So September, October and March and April are great months to actually visit Portugal, because you still get the nice weather, you get less crowds and therefore lower prices in accommodation. As I've said throughout this video, if you want more information on travelling Portugal, check out my blog below, as I've done numerous blog posts on it, and I do obviously have the travel guides which I mentioned as well. Again, all the links will be down below in the description, and let me know in the comments if you have been to Portugal, or if you're planning a trip to Portugal, or if you're Portuguese and you're watching this, do let me know if you have enjoyed the video. Let me know by leaving a like as well. If you've got any other questions, put them down in the comments or send me a message on any of my social medias, again linked in the description. And if you are new around here, be sure to subscribe to the channel. But thank you all for watching. Until next time, goodbye.